Ramana Maharshi Center for Learning is a non-profit registered society working now for more than 4 decades in the areas of Indian heritage awareness.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. 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 Sat Pratyaya, Sat is truth, reality, existence, all that is the same, Brahman, etc. That existence, that presence, Bhagavan has referred to in Ulladhu Narpadu, he calls it very beautifully as Ulla Porul. Ulla Porul. In one stroke, in simple Tamil, which is understandable by every layman on the street, it conveys everything. Ulla Porul. Ulla Porul means a substance that exists. Ulla. Ulla means firstly, it exists. Secondly, Ulla also connotes it is inside. Ul is inside. There is an inwardness about it. It exists. It is inside. Porul. Porul means it's a substance. It is not, it exists. It's a substantial existence. It is not shunyam. There is a porul. And porul also has other meanings in Tamil. One of them means meaning itself. Porul means meaning, significance, essence. It means reality, result, all that is porul. What is the result? What is the reality, essence, significance? Ulla porul is that existence which is substantial, which is inside, which is real, which is the essence. All that is conveyed by Ulla porul. Now, Ulladhu Narpadu, the supreme substance that this treatise conveys to all of us, Bhagavan calls it as Ulla Porul. Ulla Porul. And the magnum opus, this Ramanopanishad, starts with this invocatory verse, and this invocatory verse refers to not to Vinayaka, not to any other deity which is the purport of the treatise, not to the Ishtadevam. Normally, any treatise starts with the invocation to Vinayaka or to the deity which is the purport of the treatise, or to the Ishtadevam of the poet, or to Saraswati per se, etc. Bhagavan has departed from that tradition and has started the Mangalam, the invocatory verse, by referring to that Paramporul, that self, as the Ulla Porul, giving it no other name. So what does it mean? The invocatory verse, he begins to all of us by telling us, it is you, it is the self, it is that which is within you. So you have to begin with yourself. It is right here in you. You don't have to travel anywhere. You don't have to go somewhere to find it. It is right exactly where you are. It is in you. Ulla Porul. Begin with yourself. No tools are required. It is not as if you need to have a huge learning, a set of degrees, a great amount of background in terms of knowledge, etc. Because it's ullal ara. It is that which is realized when the mind is not, when the thoughts are not. So there is no need for that any qualification, like a knowledge qualification, etc., before it can be done. So you don't have to go anywhere. It is with you. You have to do it yourself. You don't need any prior, a priori, great amount of shastric knowledge, etc. This is it. You can start. Silence the mind. Just be and know. This is the presence, the teaching about the presence that is conveyed by Bhagavan in the first verse. And although not in the first verse, but the teaching does convey, that although it is within one's heart, it is not limited by the body at all. Since there is a presence that we feel here in this body, therefore we can dive within and find that presence. But when that presence is found, that presence is not limited by the body at all. It is an all-pervasive presence. It is the same presence which is in you, which is in me, which is in every other thing. It is the same presence, as Bhagavan pointed out to somebody, is in those 3 monkeys. It is exactly the same, he said. It is that, same presence. And by realizing that presence, one realizes the all-pervading self as one's own self, as the I, so to say, as the one's own self, which is all-pervading, which is indeed the first nama of Vishnu Sahasranama, which is Vishwasmai Namaha, that all-pervading. Vishnu is the self. The Ulladu Narpadu, see, we find that most treatises, the great sages who have composed those treatises, their entire teaching will probably be contained in the first verse itself. So one doesn't need to go beyond that. Everything will be contained there, so to say. And the great commentators who write commentaries on these treatises will spend a lot of time in the first verse, and then systematically the time on the next verse will get reduced. By the time they come to the end of the treatise, there will be small commentaries, so to say. That is the importance of the first verse. And Bhagavan, of course, starts, and probably Ulladu, first word itself contains the teaching. Now we are talking about this is, Bhagavan starts this first verse with the letter. We said that it's a Mangalam verse, it's an auspicious beginning. And he begins this verse with the alphabet U. U seems to be an alphabet which has found favor with other sages of Tamil land as well. The first verse of the great Vaishnava Prabandham, the Divya Prabandham, starts with Uyarvara, U. Kambaramayanam starts with U, Ulaham. And the verse you see here on the screen is the first verse of Periya Puranam. Periya Puranam was the book about the Nayanmars which Bhagavan saw when he was a young boy. Ulagalam unarndu odarkku ariyavan nilavulaviya neermali veniyan alagil chodiyan ambalathu aaduvan malar silambadi vaalthi vananguvam. What this means is Ulagalam unarndu odarkku ariyavan. Even if one were to know the whole world, everything that is to be known objectively, ellam unarndu, Ulagalam unarndu odarkku ariyavan. Even then he cannot be known. By that he cannot be known. That's how it starts. Ullal ara, he cannot be known by the mind. But then, Nilavulaviya, he's got the crescent moon on on his forehead, Nirmali Venian, he is having Ganga, Gangadharan he is, Alagil Chodian, he is infinite in splendor, his brightness, his radiance is infinite. Ambalatta Aduan, he is the one who dances in Chitrambalam, Malar Chilambadi Vaiti Vananguvam, in the flower, in the lotus of the heart, wearing Chilambu in his ankles, he dances, and let us pray and let us bow to him, to that Shiva Nataraja. So, there is a tradition, it seems, that you begin with certain auspicious letters, certain auspicious words, and he starts with the letter U. We find when we read about Ulladu Narpadu that when Ganapati Muni saw, when Bhagavan was composing Ulladu Narpadu, the Muni had a request to Bhagavan saying, Bhagavan, you have composed these 40 verses, but the practice is, there is a traditional practice that the invocatory verse should be to some Saguna Brahman, some God with form, so to say. But in all these verses, it's so purely Advaitic, Ulla Porul, that's all. He's not going beyond saying that it is that existence, that substance, that self, etc. But tradition is requesting, there is a tradition, we must say something. So you have got one verse, Bhagavan, which talks about Mageshan Charaname, that is surrender to Mrityunjaya, the Lord who overcomes death. So, can we take that as the invocatory verse, so that there is a keeping with tradition? Then, of course, there was discussion among all the learned people, because already there was an invocatory verse, the one we saw. So, can we have two invocatory verses?
Brahma